Now, if you're feeling down, how likely are you to tell someone about the problem? New research suggests that more than half of people with a mental health problem wait over a year before talking about it.
The campaign group behind the study, Time to Change, says social stigma is still stopping people from opening up. Among those supporting the campaign is Beverly Callard, who plays Liz McDonald in Coronation Street. She's been talking to us about her experience of depression and been to meet others who have also had to cope with it.
At first I knew I was ill and I knew there was something wrong with me, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And my biggest problem was I didn't really talk to anybody, not even my husband. I'll never forget, there was one day I had to stand outside the Rovers' door. Somebody else's line was my cue to walk in there, and I truly couldn't walk through the door. And I heard the line and I couldn't do it because I felt that I was really ugly, that I was really rubbish at my job, that I was unlovable, and each day then just got worse and worse, but I couldn't talk about it. It's nothing to do with being showbiz or whatever. It can be someone who works in a shop, it can be someone who is a multi-millionaire, it could be someone who's homeless. It truly doesn't matter.
Well, I used to be a head teacher in a primary school, and I got more and more stressed and more down, but I hid it because I felt that because I was trying to run the school, if I wasn't Mr. Up, then everybody who was looking up to me would think that I was a failure.
When I was worried about talking about my mental health, I thought it would change people's view of me in a negative way, but actually I would say the majority of people I've told, their opinion of me has changed in a positive way.
Talking in groups, or if you can talk to people who's had the same experiences, it's more better than medication and counselling in some ways.
Never mind sitting there in your pyjamas watching repeats. Why don't you go get dressed?
The character I play in Coronation Street has a son, Steve McDonald. He's having a moment where he is dipping and he thinks he's rubbish at everything, but he's realised now he has to talk about it.
Maybe you'd be better off without me.
What are you talking about?
I don't just mean you, I mean everybody. I just feel bad all the time because I want to make happen.
You know, this is all new to us, isn't it? And maybe we're not doing it right at the moment, but we'll find a way through this.
What I found was that as soon as I started talking about my experience, other people opened up, whether it was a formal talk or just a chat. As soon as you say, well, I was ill, I had this, I had that, and this has happened to me, suddenly everybody, it's either me or the friend or the family member, they start to talk, and I think the more we talk, the more it'll become a norm.
For anyone out there who thinks, oh, maybe this is happening to me, talk about it. And if you feel that your relative or your friend may be going through that, ask them. It just might be the beginning of the road to recovery.
Yes, well, that's Beverly Callard talking about her own journey and talking about how she opened up and how it helped her. Lots of people getting in touch this morning with a similar thought process.
Yes, and we'll be speaking to somebody about this at 8:20, but thank you for getting in touch. Jessica says, the best thing I did was see a doctor. I still have moments every day where I have to take a deep breath. I found it hard to accept myself that I had depression.
Yes, and this one from Joe, who says, I suffer every day with this horrible thing, meaning depression. I have done for years, and yes, I do put up a front. Some days are very bleak. Thank you for your comments this morning. We'll be talking more about it a little later on this morning.
7:25, an international fighting